And so we are solving these four simultaneous equations. This question is based on, but not the same as, a question which was set on a step 3 paper. And the advice of the step examiner is to take as a first step equation number 2 and multiply it by x plus y. So we have x plus y times ax plus by equals x plus y over 2. And when we carry out that, we find that it becomes ax squared plus bxy plus axy plus by squared equals x plus y upon 2. And if we collect like terms and so on, we get ax squared plus by squared plus xy times a plus b equals the right-hand side. And if we compare what we've got there with what is stated in equation 3 and in equation 1, we will find that this becomes 1/3 plus xy, because a plus b is 1, is equal to x plus y upon 2. And if we take this equation and multiply both sides by 6, we can get into whole numbers. And we've got 2 plus 6xy equals 3x plus y. And the next thing we need to do is to take equation 3 and multiply that by x plus y. Because we should notice that will give us some information in terms of ax cubed and by cubed. So we can use that as we use the information about ax squared and by squared, and the information that a plus b equals 1. So let's see what happens when we do that. And so we see that we get ax cubed plus by squared x plus ax squared y plus by cubed. And once again, if I collect together, I get ax cubed plus by cubed plus xy ax plus by equals the right-hand side, and comparing that with the information given in the question, that is 1/5 plus xy times 1/2 x plus y upon 3. And so to get into whole numbers, I need to multiply both sides by 30. And so I have now multiplied both sides by 30, and I've put underneath it the other equation we arrived at. So I can call this equation number 5 and this equation number 6. And what I can do now is I can use these equations to find x and y. And so what I shall do is to make xy the subject of each of them, which will give me a way of discovering x in terms of y. And so making the xy the subject of number 5 and number 6, I arrive at the statement that 10 lots of x plus y minus 6 over 15 is the same as 3 lots of xy minus 2 over 6. So I now multiply both sides of that equation by 30. And multiplying both sides by 30, I get 20 lots of x plus y minus 12 is equal to 15 lots of x plus y minus 10. And so all I have to do now is to take 15x plus y off both sides and add 12 to both sides, so that x plus y equals 2 upon 5. And I can now find out what xy is by putting 2/5 in there. And so I've got xy equals 10 times 2/5 minus 6 over 15. And that becomes 8 2/15. I beg your pardon, it becomes minus 2/15. So xy is minus 2/15 and x plus y is equal to 2/5. So I can call this equation number 7 and this equation number 8. And what I can do now is to put equation number 8 into number 7. Into number 7 and discover the possible values of x and y. So eventually I get this equation here, which says x times 2 minus 5x all over 5 is minus 2/15. So I'm going to multiply both sides of this by 15 and solve the resulting quadratic. And so I now discover that 6x minus 15x squared equals minus 2, so that 0 equals 15x squared minus 6x minus 2. I'll just write that a bit more neatly. 0 equals 15 x squared minus 6x minus 2, and so we now use the quadratic formula, and eventually we discover that x equals 3 plus or minus root 39 all over 15, and we can now use the fact that x plus y equals 2/5 to discover the values of y that go with each respective values of x. And so if you follow what I'm doing here, I've put y equals 2/5 minus the two possible values of x, 2/5 minus 3 plus or minus root 39 upon 15. And then if I put everything over 15 so that the 2/5 becomes 6/15, all on the top of there, I've got 6 minus 3 minus plus root 39 upon 15. And so y equals 3 minus root 39 upon 15, or 3 plus root 39 upon 15. And the corresponding values of x are 3 plus or minus root 39 upon 15. And so all I have to do now is to find the values of a and b. Now, a plus b equals 1, and ax plus by equals a half. So b equals 1 minus a from this statement here. So I put it into the other one, and I get ax plus 1 minus ay equals 1/2. So I get 2ax plus 2y minus 2ay equals 1. And so I get a lots of 2x minus 2y is 1 minus 2y. And all I have to do now is to choose one of the two values of x and put with it the corresponding value of y, and that will help me solve my problem. And if we look in the bottom corner, we can see that x minus y comes out to 2 root 39 upon 15. If I choose the plus version of x and the minus version of y, so long as I can choose two that go together, I should be okay. And I can now multiply that by 2, and put it into this equation here. So let's do that. And so I find that 4 root 39 upon 15 times a is 9 plus 2 root 39 upon 15. And so I now do a simple division sum to find the value of a, 1 minus that quantity to find the value of b, and then I have my 4 numbers. And so there I am doing my division. 9 plus 2 root 39 over 15 times 15 over 4 root 39. And a becomes 9 plus 2 root 39 over 4 root 39. And all I have to do now is 1 minus that. And I obtain the value of b. So that b equals 4 root 39 minus 9 minus 2 root 39 all over 4 root 39, and that becomes 2 root 39 minus 9 over 4 root 39. And so I can now give a summary of my answers. And there at last we have the 4 final answers clearly expressed.